Hey guys, I'm thinking of starting a new series called What Kind of Threats and Hate Did We Receive Today, in light of this big mouth getting us in trouble. Over something that started as simple as, can my son have a guinea pig to show in 4-H, and now has spiraled into death to all farmers. Let's talk about the best one I've had yet today. Now, the majority of people that come at me are people I will never meet in my life. They live in other parts of the country, other parts of the world. I don't give two spits, honestly. It doesn't matter where you're from, honestly. You can do what you want to do. I don't care. Anyway, but today's winner is a local gentleman who, he's a little vocal about his opinions, as am I. And I was like, hey man, do what you gotta do. We're like friends on the FaceTube, and he's very political. And, I'm like, hey, get on with your bad self. We agree on several political points. And until today, I had a massive lack in his judge of character. So homeboy riding the crazy train says to me on my post, what a despicable thing 4-H is, and farmers are just horrible. And benefiting off animals, basically, is awful, and animals being in cages is like oppressive or abusive, or I can't remember the word he used. It's terrible anyway, having animals in cages. Which brings me honestly to my next question. Is he referencing just cages, or is he referencing like fences too? Does he mean just like confining the animal? So I'm a busy girl as a farmer, so I have to do two things at once. We're going to prepare dinner and chat with this gentleman. I'm genuinely curious. How does he think this happens if he's against all animals being confined? Does he think it's the land of milk and honey? The Garden of Eden, perhaps, where all things get along and nobody ever argues or fights? I can't help but wonder if he realizes that rabbits, for instance, when they're colony raised without cages, if you just let them to their own devices, that sometimes the females, when they get upset with the male, they chew their testicles off. It's a bad day for him. And before you come at me with, well, then they should all be spayed and neutered. Do you know what happens, like the risks associated with putting small animals under anesthesia? It's pretty risky. It's quite stressful for them as well. So, no. Or maybe we should talk about cows, since that's a popular one that I'm sure this local gentleman understands, because I'm sure that he enjoys a hamburger on the 4th of July or Memorial Day or one of those other holidays, that he's having a hamburger or a hot dog or whatever. Cows and pigs, either one. What happens if they were all just living in a happy, harmonious valley in the barnyard? You know what would happen? Carnage. So much carnage. So that's kind of why we need fences and cages, is to keep everybody safe. Because here's the dealio, sir, and anybody else out there of concern, is as long as you want to enjoy and consume things like meat, leather, eggs, let's see, soaps, shampoos, conditioner, things that are made with tallow. Okay, you know what that is? Animal fat. Okay. As long as you want to still use those things, which I'm an advocate for because I'm a farmer, you need to understand that to use products, we need to keep making product. And do you want to know where product comes from? It's when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much. And that's how then more product is made. And these people that are so anti-caging animals and fencing in animals are the first ones to not have any idea what life is actually like on a farm. Now, there are some crappy farmers. This is true. I've seen them. Yeah. There are crappy people out there of all kinds. There's crappy dog owners, cat owners, fish owners, you name it. You can't control everybody. But to judge one bad apple against a whole barrel is not fair and not right. And you shouldn't generalize people like that, because that's really not very nice. And you should probably try to understand things before you speak on them and then trash somebody else for their job, because it's just not nice. Oh, and by the way, because I get this argument all the time, well, when I go to the store and buy eggs, for instance, I get them that say they're cage-free or pasture-raised. I'm going to let you in on a little secret about that, too. Go ahead and look up by law what qualifications have to be made for them to be considered cage-free, pasture-raised. The amount of days, yes, I said the amount of days that they have to spend touching grass. I hate to break it to you, but they're not out there all their lives living in just this zen-like state out in green fields for years until they naturally pass away. That is not true. So yeah, if you're going to claim to be a hardcore anti-consumerist kind of a person, and that all farmers are evil and bad, you should probably then make sure that you're not using any products that come from animals, and make sure you're eating 100% a plant-based diet, and not using plastics either, or countless other things. And frankly, also accept the fact that more than one thing can be true at a time, and that you can be like me and thousands and thousands of other farmers all across the world that raise animals for food, and they never know a bad day. Never. For instance, on my farm, these animals usually I'm the first thing that they see when they open their eyes, and the last thing that they see before they go. And that is an honor and something that I have deep respect for. And I don't take it for granted, and I don't take it lightly. Animal husbandry is extremely important to me, and our animals are kept in better care than myself. And usually that's how it is when you're dealing with farm animals or people that are in 4-H. They get better health care, they get better nutrition, and their lives are pretty stress-free. They're not beaten, they're not abused, they're not tortured, their deaths are not drawn out. It is swift and effective. And anybody that says that they enjoy that part is a sick person. And none of us say that, because none of us enjoy it. So, get your facts straight before you start coming against people, and realize that if it wasn't for farmers in all capacities, that we would be up the creek without a paddle. That's it, folks.